What an absolutely incredible week for Kaden Honeycutt, just days after announcing he and his wife Jessica are expecting their first child. The Tricon garage driver goes out and delivers one of the most dominant performances we've seen all season. Stick around, because this Richmond win has ripple effects that go way beyond just one trophy. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So let's set the scene. This was the weather-delayed Blacks Tire 250 presented by BTS Rewards. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Richmond Raceway run on a Saturday afternoon at that 3/4 mile short track. And Kaden Honeycutt, he didn't just win this race, he owned it. Honeycutt led 225 of the 250 laps. Let that sink in for a second. That's the most laps he's ever led in a single race. To put that number in perspective, it blows past his previous best of 59 laps led, which came earlier this year at Darlington. And get this, it's actually more laps led in this one race than in all 75 of his previous series starts combined. That's the kind of stat that tells you everything about how strong his Toyota was that day. On top of that, Honeycutt swept both stage wins. First time in his career he's done that. So this wasn't a case of getting lucky at the end. He was the class of the field from start to finish. Now here's something worth pointing out. Richmond has a long-standing reputation where the driver who leads the most laps often does not end up winning the race. Track position battles, late cautions, pit strategy. It usually shakes things up. But Honeycutt broke that pattern completely. At one stretch, he held the lead for 195 consecutive laps. There were some late race pit stops that shuffled things around, but Honeycutt reclaimed the lead with 29 laps to go. And from there, he never looked back. He crossed the finish line 313 seconds ahead of his own teammate, reigning series champion Corey Heim, who brought the number 5 Tricon Toyota home in second. This is Honeycutt's second career win and his second win of this season. Afterward, he talked about how the team had been through a rough stretch recently. Here's what he said. "Man, we never give up. We've had a rough last couple weeks and just wondered what the heck was going on. We're not a 7th place, 10th place team, and it's all thanks to Scott Zipadelli and everyone on this 11 team." He went on to say, "We just stay on it. We don't give up. What a dominant day. I'd never been able to do something like that before, so really good confidence for me, and hopefully we can go to Loudon and do the same thing next week." And speaking of Zipadelli, this win is a big one for him too. His veteran crew chief now has 38 career series victories. That puts him second all-time on the list, behind only Eric Phillips, who has 44. Rounding out the podium and top 5. Christian Eckes finished third for McAnally Hilgerman Racing. Shane Van Gisbergen, who won the pole for this race, his first career series pole, finished 4th. And that was actually part of a doubleheader day for him, since he also competed in the Cup Series race at Richmond that same night. Grant Infinger, who led 22 laps himself, rounded out the top 5. Now let's talk championship standings, because this race shook things up in a big way. Tyler Ankrum came into Richmond ranked 11th. Just one spot outside that Chase 10 driver field, his team got hit with a penalty for too many men over the wall on the first pit stop. He still picked up stage points with an 8th place finish in stage 1, but he restarted the next stage as the last truck on the lead lap. But Ankrum fought back. Just 20 laps later, he repassed his closest points rival, Stewart Friesen, and worked his way up to 11th in stage 2 and in the final finishing order. Meanwhile, Friesen had trouble of his own. He brought out the race's third and final caution when he crashed by himself with 33 laps remaining and ended up finishing last in the 37 truck field. The combination of Ankrum's recovery and Friesen's crash flipped the standings. Ankrum now sits in that 10th and final transfer spot, 20 points ahead of Friesen and 21 points ahead of Jake Garcia, who finished 6th on Saturday. Here's an interesting wrinkle heading into New Hampshire next week. Between those 3 drivers battling for that last chase spot, they've only got 4 combined previous starts at that track. Friesen has raced there twice with a best finish of 5th back in 2017, but he was injured and missed the race last fall. Ankrum and Garcia each have 1 start there, finishing 11th and 16th respectively. One more storyline from Saturday. ThorSport's Ty Majeski had a rough day, Going down 2 laps early with tire trouble, he finished 19th, a lap down, but that was enough to officially lock him into the chase. Garcia and Chandler Smith finished 6th and 7th. And a big shout out here. 16-year-old Tristan McKee, driving for Spire Motorsports, finished 8th in his Truck Series debut. Gio Ruggiero and Daniel Hemrick rounded out the top 10. So now it's on to the regular season finale next Saturday. The Team EJP 175 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Reigning series champion Corey Heim actually won that race last year from the pole. So here's my question for you. With Ankrum, Friesen, and Garcia all so tightly bunched for that final transfer spot, and none of them having much history in New Hampshire, who do you think comes out on top next Saturday? Drop your prediction in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in New Hampshire.